All right, welcome back to day 4 of this entire series of Design with me. And we've been doing very exciting and fun things from day 1, and we are inside another edition of this, and it promises to be very fun and exciting again. Okay, so let's get into the business of today. So in day 3 we did a landing page for a pet shop, and today we're doing another landing page, but this is going to be for a movie streaming platform, and it's going to be very fun. Okay, so let's look at what we're going to be designing today. So first off, we I already mentioned it's going to be a landing page for a movie streaming platform. Let's just look at the elements of the design. We have this demo logo. We have an image for the profile. We have the header text, subtext, a couple of buttons, icons here and there, a couple of images for the movies that are displayed on the landing page, that kind of thing. So let's get into it without wasting much time. So first off, definitely want to create a frame, and MacBook Pro 14. Okay, good. So next thing I want to do is to draw this down a bit, and then create a frame to house this arrow section. Okay, so create a frame for that. Click on frame or F on your keyboard, then drag this out. So it will be about 1512 by 960. Enter. Good. So next thing I want to do is to bring in the image of Loki. So come to fill, click on the thumbnail, and then select image. Choose the image you want. Then we have Loki there. Okay, good. So next thing, let's start bringing in other important things we'll be needing for that. So let's start with the text. So the font I'm using is Plus Jakarta Display. Here's the font, Plus Jakarta Display. So for the header text, we're using a medium 85. So let's have that here as well. Okay, season 2. Control Enter. Then okay. So before I continue, let's quickly create our layout grid. Sorry. I didn't put one here, but we should have one for ourselves. So create a layout grid right now. Columns 96. Maybe got at 24. Make this count to be 8. You have count 8, margin 96, and then gutter 24. Okay, pretty good. So we have the layout grid right now, so I can easily align things to that grid. Okay, so next we want to have is the smaller text. So that's one. I used regular 25 for that. So let's have that also right now. Text. Sorry. Enter. Okay, good. So before we move forward to the buttons that we have, like we have them here, let's create the navigation bar at the top, like we have it here. Okay, so we have 1512 by 90. So I have that also. Okay, so let's check the color. So for the color, I used the solid color, but I blended it with the opacity feature. So you can see at the panel here, we have this color code. then I use an opacity of 40. So let me show what I'm saying. So regularly, if I'm to create a navbar right here, then I click on fill, put the color code, click on enter. You have this, but it's too bold. I don't want it to be this to stand out this much, so that I change the opacity from 100 to 40. Okay, so yeah, so you can have this nice effect. Good. So we have the navigation bar frame already. Let's bring in the image. So the size for that image is 60 by 60 with ellipse. Come back here, draw out an ellipse of 60 by 60 in frame. Okay, perfect by itself already safe. Okay, good. So now so I added a stroke to that. Let me check the color code I use for the stroke. You can see there's a small stroke, a thin stroke around that. So I'll copy the color code. Just stroke width is just 1. So come back to our image, stroke 1, enter. So now let's, for the fill now, of course it's going to be an image. So let's select an image, bring in the image of our model. For that, you can open. Good, I'm done with that. All right. So you get in here. So let's bring in the logo as well. So for the logo, we have it on 40 for the height. The height is about 40. Okay. So let's bring in our logo right now. Bring in the logo. Good. So from black, I'm going to change it into white. So come to the selection colors down here. Then I click on that. And then drag to white. Okay, very simple. So I don't need to use fill, just click on the color. Then I have it. All right. Okay, so we're getting here. So yeah, you notice that the left side of the arrow section looks darker here compared to this place. That's because this is how the image actually looks like, but I needed a darker part here because of the text, so you can show very well. So I had to add a gradient overlay on that. So below you can see this overlay I used here. So I had to do something like that. So I used the same frame size and then added a linear gradient to that. Okay, so we're using the same thing. You can see this gradient. Okay, so let's have the same thing for our own as well. So come here. Navigation bar. Then I create a frame. (1512 by 960). Okay, so now okay, so I think I didn't put the logo of the navigation bar. It's looking off. All right, so back to our gradients. So at this point, I'm sure I don't need to remind you that you should name your layers so you don't start looking for stuff up and down. Because once you start having many layers, you start looking for stuff. So I have the navigation bar, close that. I have the text. Good. Then I have the value. So let's add the fill now. So for the fill, click on fill, and then let's choose gradient. Okay, that's already having that effect already. So the way you have this effect is that you can have a solid gradient whereby the two colors, so you have multiple colors, are on 100%. Let me show what I'm saying. So right now, let's have like a black to white gradient. Okay. So by default, you usually have a faded gradient at the other side. So right now, you can see both of them are, even though both of them are black, one of them seems as if it's transparent. That's because the opacity is on 0 for this one. For the other one, it's on 100. So that's how you have that effect whereby it looks as if it's faded, but you can see the text underneath. If I change the other one to 100, you'll not see anything. Let me show what I'm saying. 100, enter. You can see everything becomes black. So, but we want this kind of effect right now. So, I just flip this to this side. Then I have this. So, move this in a bit. Now we have that. I just adjust it to what you want it to look like. I think this is okay for me, and I'm good with that. Right. Okay, good. So let's have this smaller menu buttons at the top. So I used movie series kits. I used medium 20 for that. Let's have that also. So text, movies, control enter. Then we have series and then kids. Series and kids. Okay, good. So I'll be framing the entire thing. So from movies to series to kids and then to the picture. Then right click, frame selection, click on auto layout, and then we're practically done with that. It's a bit of adjustment. Good. For the horizontal gap between the elements, I'll use let's use 70. 70 should be okay. Then all right, good. So you're looking much closer to what we have. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So the size of this should be about 60. Okay, 40. The height is 40. I mean, wasn't why it was looking quite big here. So to our own now, logo, constraint proportion, 40. Good. Okay, good. So we are practically done with the first part of this. I think the okay. I think I want this a bit too dark, so let's have something like this as well. Overlay, fill. Okay, just that. Okay, so that's good. So now we already have our hero section done. We're getting nearer to the end. So let's have this down part. So for the background image itself, I made it a solid. Okay, so this thing you're seeing, this background, is actually a solid color, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, solid color. So this is the color I used, OFF, OF. That's 0F, 0F, 0F. Okay, so so instead of white, we have in that color for the background. Enter. Good. So we have that effect, and then I added a couple of gradients underneath. So we do that later on. Let's have these major guys first. So the title for the section is trending movies, and then we have the movies, each of them. So let's start by typing that out. Size medium 39. Okay, come here. Okay, so I want it to be above the section. So I just type it outside that and you can move it up. Trending movies. Okay, so I can move it up now. I don't want this. I want it above. I don't want it to be constrained to that frame. So let's name this hero section. Okay. Yeah, good. All right. So let's start with these guys. Okay, before that, let's have this small text. We have CMO, medium 25 for the um text options, text style, I mean. Then the color, copy that. So come back here, medium, I think it was 25. Yeah, 25. Yeah, the color should be changed also, definitely. Change the text to see more. Decoration, underline the text. All right, good. It's looking good. Now let's start with each of the movies. So you have the movie poster, you have movie title, you have this icon, and then you have the star rating and then the number of ratings. Let's pick one out of the other. So for the movie poster, I used 297 by 440 for the dimensions. So let's have the same thing also. Create a frame. For the corner radius was 20 also. So let's do that. Yeah, as well. Draw a frame. So there's one issue you have mostly when you're working on this particular project. So you see that most of the frame will be entering other frames. Right now, the frame for my movie is inside the frame for the overlay. I don't want that. So you actually manually have to move them out by yourself. So I'm moving them to the top. So right now it's standing alone. So the width should be in 297 by I think 440 if I'm wrong. Yeah, good. So now I can move it. So now quickly I want to just give it a color for now. Yeah. So I can show what I'm seeing. Okay. All right, good. So the corner radius should be 20. I guess so. Yeah, 20. So now let me bring in an image to fill that up. Choose image. Yeah, good. So we're getting here. Let me name this movie one. And then the name John Wick. So the size for that is stay plus Jakarta display regular 20. Okay. To come back here, click on text, and then we type. Okay. So you have the name of the movie. So let's have this icon so you can frame the two together. So back to our design, input the fire icon. Okay. So the size now and the color, let's check that out. So we have this color and copy that. And then the size in height is 20. Let's have that for one as well. Back to our design. Okay. Constrain the proportions. Type 20 for the height. Change. Okay, so before that, let me flatten this out. So flatten that out. Stroke width is 1. Okay. Stroke width 1. Constraint size 20. Color paste. Good. All right. So framing these two together, bring them selection, auto layout, the horizontal gap between them, or make it auto. Just right click, left click and click on auto. So if I drag, it will just go by itself. Okay, so automatically. Okay, it's looking good. Move this up a bit. So the space between the text and this should be about 16. Let me have it here 16. All right, so looking good. Now the next one we have is the smaller text, so you have this 7.8 per 10 and then the number of ratings. So for that I used regular 16. The color of the text is 7A. Copy that. Let's go back to text. So I want design. I'll copy this. I want this. Just type this as first. 7.8 over 10. Control enter. Change the color to what we copied. 7A. Then enter. Then change the size to 16. I guess, yeah. Then move up a bit. Right. The space between the text and this is about 4. So let me bring in the star I used here. So the size is about 16 in height. So let's have that also. Back to our design. Because we're doing a lot of bringing in and adjusting right now. So I think I made it easy with giving you guys the icons. So you don't have to start looking for the icons. So just click on the star icon, drag it into your design, then constrain the proportion, make that 16. Click on enter. Use the same color for the text here. So selection colors, eyedropper, and then can do that. So in case you don't want to type it, in case you don't want to pick like I did, you can just type in the same color 7A. Yeah, good. Right, so dragging this out to be beside this. So then I had a small ellipse to separate them like this, something like this. So I think I use about maybe 4x4. Yeah, 4x4. Then the other text. So let's bring out this text first before the ellipse. Let's just type a random number 180 1823 ratings. Draw enter. And let's draw out the ellipse, the small ellipse. Holding shift. Then it should be 4x4. 4x4. Good. So right now we have let's change the color to be 7A. Enter. Good. So I'm going to be framing this entire guys. So from the start to the text to the ellipse to this other text, I'll frame them as one single selection. So before that, I want to frame this one separately. So you can have because if I frame them together, I'll give them it will be automatically give each of them same horizontal gap. But I want these guys to be together. Then I can frame others together. So right click, frame selection, auto layout, change the horizontal gap to about 4. 4 is okay for me. Now I can now frame everything together now. Then I frame, right click, frame selection, auto layout now. So let me see the size I use for this. I used 8 for that, 4 for this. Okay, right for the first one. So for this one, instead of 12, we'll be having 8. Right, good. So the essence of this auto react is the case whereby I want to change any of these things, they will just stay within the frame. So let's say I'm changing this to 2.1. You can see I don't need to manually change the spacing between them. It automatically adjusts by itself. Just change this back to 7.8. Control enter. Good. So I have that frame done. So the space between this movie details or movie ratings, I mean, and this one should be about 4. So right now is on 1. So drag it down 3. Okay, good. So I'm practically done with that. So basically I can just I'll practically be copying the same thing to use for the other ones. So since I've done the major work here, I can just copy. Okay, let me first frame the entire thing right now. Okay, right click, frame selection. I don't need the tutorials for this. I just want to name it movie 1. Okay, so let me see other things I can label within this frame. So for this movie ratings, I'm going to label that as movie ratings as well. So I can easily find it anytime I need it. Ratings. Okay, enter. For the movie itself, okay, I already have it. Then just click it as a movie. And then the movie title, also let's just name it as movie title. Title. Okay, good. Put this as a movie. Let's put this as movie poster. Okay, good. So 3 components, but each have minute details. So let me see if they are aligned together. I think they are. Align them to left. Okay, everything's perfect right now. Okay, so now all I need to just do now is to duplicate this movie 1 and then use it to create other ones. So clicking Alt on my keyboard, I'm dragging this out. Very simple. All right. So I need about 2 more for this because there are 4 movies. Then I'll add an auto layout. So do that 2 more times. Then 1 more time. Okay, good. So now I would highlight all these movies. So you have right now you have movie 1, movie 2, movie 3, movie 4. By itself, it names it automatically. So I want to frame them into one selection. Frame selection, auto layout. By itself is adjusted to I should give about 44. Yeah, 44. For the horizontal gap, it should be 44. I want it to be 44. Good. So now anytime I'm doing, they'll be constrained to that proportion. Okay, so just for us to change the image for the movies. For this one, I have this movie poster. Let's change that. Field image, choose image, Sunivu, open. Okay, good. This other one, control click, view image, choose image. What did I use there? I used okay, it didn't strike. Okay, then for the fourth one, control click, also view, choose image, and then ballerina. Open. Good. So just for us to now change the name of the movies and then other things I want them to be. So second movie, control click, control V, back here, it didn't strike. Control A, control V, the fourth one, ballerina, control C, control A, control V. I don't the names, okay? All right, and so now practically I can just change all these ones. So whatever I want them to be. So I'll just change them without looking at what I have. So it doesn't matter at this point. So 6.9. This 2, 6, 2. So it doesn't matter, just for us to have something that's different from others. Okay. Skip is 7.6, 4, 2, 1, 8. Control enter. Then the last one, give 7.4. Number of ratings 3, 9, 1, 4. Control enter. I'm practically done. right? So since we have rows also, and I think I framed this already, yeah. So I will call this movies, then hyphen row one. Okay, so I can easily, so if I'm dragging this out now, I drag this out, automatically it will become row two. You can see by itself. So I'll not be changing the images like this one. Let's just leave it as it is. So, but I want the spacing to be about 40 from row 140. Perfect. So the only thing I'm left at this point for this particular segment is this button. Okay, so I just created the normal frame and then I added the text and then I add a couple of other effects. So I'll do that right now. So the for the dimensions, I add it as 1320 by 80. So let's have that also here. Okay. So you have in 1320 by 80. Good. I'll make that centered right there. Good. And those do I need? Okay, yeah, the fill. So the fill, okay, just for default now, let me just have a color there. Then this should be the corner radius should be about 40 at least. You can make it higher, but 40 is okay. So for the fill, I used a gradient like I used initially. So but for this one, it was a gray to dark gradient I used before I added the opacity option. Like you have it here. Okay, so I'll be copying the images, the color I used here. Just to Xcode. Then to black. Let's go back to our image. So our design, I mean, click on the button. Fill will be a gradient. So somewhere around here to here. Make this say black. Okay, good. So now once I'm done with that, make this transparent from 40, change that to 40. Sorry, from 100 to 40. Then you can now have a stroke around it. So add a stroke, change the color to what's the color I used here? 70 again. Back here, stroke, Control V, Control Enter. We are looking nearer already. So let's just add the text. So come to the text. I think that should be 25. Yeah, 25. So back to our button. You just type on text, C on your keyboard, and then just type load more movies. Control Enter. Then I can just adjust it by yourself. Align to the center of that. Okay, good. So you're done with that button. So I'll just adjust it a bit. Right. So what are we leaving out? Yes, the buttons. Yes, the buttons. So let's add these buttons. So first of all, I want to move Lucky header upward. Okay, good. So now for the buttons, what size did I use? So these are not all layout. So but let me just manually draw out the first button. Then we can make adjustments. So the width is about 200. So back to our design. Okay, for that. Show me inside this guy. Good. So bring out the frame. Okay. So you can see the problem I mentioned earlier. The frame usually be getting into this one, but I want it to be that way. So bring it to the top. So good. So 200 and 60 or so. Right. So I can make this 3 with the color. So click on the color, click on the eyedropper, then you can come around here, pick that color. Yeah, good. So you have that already. So I want the text, that will be medium 20. See the same font name. Come back to our design. Okay, the corner radius, yes. So the corner radius, make that 30 for now. We have to change it. Let me make it higher just in case. So it doesn't matter if it's too high, since it's the same, it's a rounded figure. So you can automatically edit by itself. So I have that. And then the text now. Text, click on your frame, watch now. Enter. Good. So for the dimensions now, for the horizontal paddings now, I broke that into two. So I had 30 for the left and then 32 for the right padding because of the play button to have that optical illusion right. Okay, so let's do that. So let's bring in our play button. That's about 16 in height. So let's bring in our play button right now. So you can have that done. So for the button, okay, so before I bring in the button, the space between the text and the button is about 10. You can see that here, 10. The horizontal gap between them is 10. So let's have that in mind. So let me bring in the button, then I start adding the dimensions to make it automatic. So button, open play icon, yeah, play icon. That will be about 16. Enter, change it to selection colors, change it to white. Yeah, good. Then bring this down. So now on the frame now, click on the frame. So now let me add auto layers now. So for the horizontal gap, I think it was about, is it 8? Let me check again. Yeah, 10. So 10 for this, 10. Horizontal gap should be 10. So for this, I'm breaking that. So we have this as 27, 27. I want to break it out. So we come to this to have individual padding. So that way you can manually input that. So I'm having this should be 30, I think 30 by 32. 32. Then this one will be this 16. I'm not sure. Let me check it again. 16, 16 for now. Let me check. That was 20. Yeah, 20. So 30, 32, then 20, 20. Okay. So that will be 20 and then 20. Enter. Good. So you have our first button already ready. So let's bring in for the other one now. So I make sure the width was fixed. So I use the same thing for this also. So drag this out. So I'm supposed to use this same design. So I think I'll just drag it to the top. Okay. So because the field is actually the same thing, so I'll just drag it to the top here. I'll just adjust it. So make this width to be 200. Then so the text to be detailed. Details. I brought this because I don't want to repeat this fill, this gradient fill again. So that's why I'm doing this from that. You can do it by yourself and just bring the details by yourself. So for the horizontal padding, auto layout, horizontal padding should be 20. The width should be 200. Enter. Good. And, okay, the text is about copy details. Try enter. So let's bring the icon for the details. We have it. Okay, should be about 16. 0.44. Okay, constraint proportion. Made that 16. Enter. Selection color. Let me flatten this out. It's looking too bold. Then it should be about 1. Yeah, good. So stroke is about 1 right now. Yeah, so let me just adjust things there. Okay, I think we're good. It's already on 10. I don't need to do that again. So practically we are having the same buttons. So I think just the only thing I want to adjust around be the space between the two buttons. And then to make sure that I label them. So the first one, I'm labeling it button 1. Then the second one, okay, now bring this out of there. Button 2. Good. So the opacity for the fill I use for the second button here is about 65. So I'll change that from 40 to 65 here. 65. Enter. Good. So the space between them, I'm going to confirm that I have about 16. Yeah. So bring this. Right now is on. Okay. This should be 200. Why is it 200? Yeah. So you can have 16 between them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, good, perfect. Right. So you're practically done right now. Yeah, you're done. Okay, before that, yes. So we have this ellipse at the background. So we have that grain effect. So I use the same color we're using for the grain, and then I change this opacity to be 20. So I added the layer blue. So let's create the ellipse first. So the ellipse is about 438. Just do that right now, quickly, and then round up with this section. So come to our image. Then we create an ellipse of. So we drag it to the lowest part, to the last part. Last part here. And then okay. Make sure it's inside the design. Yeah, good. So 438. All right. So I have to manually do this. So now change the color. Copy the color already. So Ctrl V, enter. Good. So that's the same thing. So let me add the effects now. So click on effects, click on this, and then click on layer blur. Change the dimension to about 300. And then think the opacity as well. Let me see. Yeah, opacity of the color or the fill should be about 20. So that's how we add the effect. Okay, so just the only thing I left is for you to manually adjust as you want it to be. So I would duplicate this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, so I can drag it to the other center. So manually, because if I do it, if I use my mouse to drag it now, it might enter any of the frame. I don't want that. So I'm doing this manually using shifts and then my arrow keys to do this. All right, so I think I love how it is right now. That's practically it. So we've created a movie streaming landing page from start to finish. That's that for default, and I hope you enjoyed it and you had fun creating your own as well. And we see tomorrow, day 5. Have a good day.